If you're a heat and air machine technician or even a salesperson, what's one type of person you should be aware of in your life that can cause a lot of problems? And why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Bell. I'm coming to you live from Holly Eva, Oahu on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. Okay, so surf's up today, and I'm like, you know what? I got to get this video out. I'm about to wrap up this trip to Oahu. I got a couple more videos in me, and I want you to be aware of a type of personality that really screws up salespeople, and it's the covert complainer. Covert complainer. So just go with me for a second. This person could be a manager, or this person could be a friend. Okay, they could seem like a friend in your life. And so here's what's going to happen. This has a couple of elements, so let me just go ahead and spread them out and tell you what they are. So first, there is the rumor, okay? So you meet with said friend, and they always have like a lot of good things to say about you, but like somewhere in the conversation, they throw in a rumor. Somebody's talking about you, somebody's leaving the company, somebody's going to a company, somebody's got problems. And when you leave the meeting, you're like, man, I don't feel good, but I don't feel bad. I don't feel good, but I don't feel bad. But it feels weird. And like in your stomach, there's butterflies. And you're like, wait a minute, what's going on right here? And you leave confused. And the whole thing is for you to be confused, because like the person's trying to be like, I'm your friend, but there's just like a little tiny dig. That rumor is typically about something that you're doing, typically about a relationship that you have, typically about people that you're meeting with. It could be about your numbers, right? So this person is using this as a ploy against you. And the reason it screws salespeople up and entrepreneurs up is because it sets you off balance. That's the whole goal, is to set you off balance, right? And there's more elements to it. But before we go into that, you should definitely join my email list, my email publication, like right above my head, there's going to be a URL. Type that into a browser, go to it, drop in your email address and your phone number, and yeah, your name. We'll get you on the inside. So there's another element to this, is this person is going to say amazing things about you in the public. So on this side, there's like 80 to 90% good things about you with like a 10 to 20% holdback. And then over here, it'll feel like the person's really building you up. Hey, Scott's an amazing dude. Hey, Scott's an amazing salesperson. Hey, Scott's got all these sales skills. But there's like a 5% joking dig at you. Okay? So over here, 80 to 90%, hey, I like you, you're cool and you're amazing, with a 10 to 20% dig or rumor. And then over here in public, there is like 95% good about you, and then like a 5% like, that's kind of a weird thing to say. Now, what happens is when this person talks trash on you, it's usually like a joke. Scott's got no hair. Scott's got great, cheek, chin hairs. Scott's overweight, right? Like it'll just be like kind of like it's a ha. But here's what happens is those little tiny jokes and that 10 or 20% over here is meant to like make you feel like crap. It's meant to make you feel like you're not enough. And it's a needling effect. And it's the covert complainer that really sells people up, because they leave a meeting and they're, what the heck just happened? I can't put my finger on this, especially if it's a manager. You know, if it's coworkers do this, but if especially it's a manager, you're like, well, I kind of think some really good things about this manager. I don't know why we're not getting along. And this confusion, I have this belief, right? It's not 100% belief, but it's one of those things. Wherever there's confusion and chaos, there's typically some sort of deceit that goes along with it. And so I'm warning you, like, hey, as you take a look around, as you take a look at who you think that you can trust, the people in your life that love you and care about you, like, you may have days that you don't get along. You may have issues that you have, and problems that you have. And like, sometimes dudes like to get together and do ball busting. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the person that when you leave, you're like, it's just a little unsettling and I can't put my finger on it. It's their way to control situations. And I'll tell you, in meetings with other people, they're talking trash behind your back. In meetings with other people, they're destroying your game plans. With meetings with other people, they're talking about your numbers and how you suck. But in public, they're building you up with a little bit of doubt at the very top of it, like a cherry on top. And then over here, they're like, hey, sales dude, hey, sales chick, hey, entrepreneur, here's a lot of good things that you're doing with a 10 to 20% holdback. The reason why this is so dangerous for you is it throws you off balance. And, you know, it kind of draws you in. You're like, I can't figure out what's wrong, so I'm going to go talk to that person again. And they do it again. You're like, I can't figure out what's wrong, so I'm going to go talk to that person again. And then they do it again. What happens next? You go like, I can't figure out what's wrong, I'm going to go talk to that person. And then they do it again. All right. That covert complainer will screw up your cell cycles. It'll screw up you mentally, and you got to do everything you can to inoculate yourself against them. That's why I'm having this conversation with you. As you're watching this video, you could probably pinpoint 1 or 2 people. So I want to give you a bonus super importante tip. Do not take action just yet. What you do is observe. Like, and you take really good notes. Like, you're an investigator. You take really good notes, and you're like, okay, I talked to Bob, and like this went down on the 5th. Okay, it's a possibility. Doesn't mean it's true. I talked to Bob on the 10th, and it happened again. And you're like, pattern recognition. I talked to Bob again on the 15th, and guess what happened? It happened again. So then, you know what you do is you limit your intention. You intentionally limit your conversations with said person, for this example, Bob, and you limit, you know, the interactions with them. And then, you know, you take what they say with about 80% truth. Right? So like, you could take things with 100% truth. Today I'm in Haleiwa, 100% true, right? You could say like, hey, that's 100% true. Scott, you're not good at sales. Well, on some days I'm not. So it's kind of 80% true. But you got to take a look at what they're sharing with you and be aware that as soon as you figure this out, they will distance themselves from you. And it'll be a magnificent breakup. It'll be your fault. It'll be a big giant shouting match in an office. Maybe it'll be that they decide to quit. It'll be that at the end of the day, they're just like, it didn't work out. Be aware of this person. I did a really long video with a lot of detail for you, because this person will really screw up and you won't even know it. You're like, I don't know how I ran into a sales slump. Now, you know, mental toughness in sales is real. You got to pay attention to it. You got to be able to say, hey, here's what I'm willing to do, and here's all the things that I can do. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you, my friend, will get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha and mahalo.